Have you ever looked in the mirror, noticed something strange on your skin, and brushed it off as nothing serious? What if I told you that those small changes could be your body screaming for help, warning you of kidney disease long before your urine ever shows a problem? I'm Dr. Johnny, and today I need you to listen closely, because what I'm about to share could literally save your life. Every single year, millions of Americans walk around with kidney disease and don't even know it until it's too late. In fact, 9 out of 10 people with kidney disease have no idea their kidneys are failing. That's terrifying, because by the time the obvious symptoms show up, damage is often permanent. But here's the truth: most people miss your skin. The largest organ in your body can reveal the silent warnings first. I've seen patients who looked perfectly healthy, who thought they just had dry skin, a stubborn rash, or a little swelling, when in reality their kidneys were crying out for attention. That's why today, I'm going to show you 9 silent kidney disease symptoms that hide in your skin. Number 7 is so shocking it will make your skin crawl, but if you recognize it early, it could save you or someone you love from dialysis. So stay with me until the very end, because I promise you'll walk away knowing exactly what to watch for, how to protect yourself, and how to take back control of your kidney health before it's too late. And remember, the first sign might be as simple as an itch you can't explain, which brings us straight into the very first hidden warning. The first hidden warning sign is one most people brush aside: relentless, unexplained itching. I'm not talking about the occasional irritation from dry weather or a new detergent. I'm talking about an itch so deep, so constant, it keeps you awake at night and makes you scratch until your skin breaks. I once had a patient in the ER, young, vibrant, who thought she was perfectly healthy. She had switched her soap, her lotion, even tried antihistamines, but nothing worked. When I examined her, I already knew the truth before the lab results came back. Her skin was crying out, not from an allergy, but from kidney failure. Here's the science. When your kidneys stop filtering properly, toxins and minerals like phosphorus build up in your blood. That excess phosphorus irritates the nerve endings in your skin, triggering severe itching that no cream can soothe. According to the National Kidney Foundation, up to 40% of patients with chronic kidney disease report this exact symptom, and many of them don't realize it's their kidneys until it's dangerously advanced. So if you or someone you love has persistent, widespread itching with no clear cause, don't ignore it. It's not just a skin problem. It could be a kidney problem. See your doctor, ask about kidney testing, and don't wait for it to get worse. But only knowing about itching isn't enough, because there's another sign hiding right beneath the surface that reveals an even more dangerous secret. If itching was your body's alarm, then extreme dryness is the silent echo that follows. Imagine your skin turning rough, tight, and flaky, sometimes looking like fish scales. Most people blame aging, winter air, or not drinking enough water. But I've treated patients whose dryness wasn't about the weather at all. It was their kidneys quietly failing. One woman told me she used to carry lotion everywhere, reapplying dozens of times a day, yet her skin only got worse. The truth was heartbreaking. Her kidneys had stopped regulating her oil and sweat glands, leaving her skin desert dry no matter what she tried. Here's why it happens. When your kidneys can't filter toxins efficiently, those toxins accumulate in your bloodstream and damage the tiny glands that keep your skin hydrated. Over time, your body loses its natural moisture balance, creating scaly, cracked patches that no moisturizer can fix. Studies published in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology confirm that up to 1/3 of patients with advanced kidney disease experience severe skin dryness linked directly to toxin buildup and disrupted sweat gland function. So if your skin feels unusually dry, rough, or scaly despite using quality lotions and drinking enough water, don't shrug it off. It might not be just aging. It could be your body warning you about kidney dysfunction long before a lab test does. But only spotting dryness isn't enough, because sometimes the skin doesn't just dry out, it breaks out. And when rashes, blisters, or sores refuse to heal, the danger escalates to a whole new level. When dryness turns into damage, the skin begins to speak even louder through rashes, blisters, or wounds that just won't heal. I've seen patients come in with strange dome-shaped bumps or fluid-filled blisters that looked harmless at first glance. One man told me he thought they were insect bites, but weeks passed. The lesions grew crusted and painful, and no cream or antibiotics seemed to work. The hidden culprit, his kidneys were failing, and the toxins flooding his bloodstream were sparking an immune reaction that showed up on his skin. Here's the medical reality. As kidney disease progresses, your body struggles to clear waste products, which disrupts circulation and weakens your immune system. Blood vessels that normally nourish your skin become sluggish or blocked, leaving wounds starved of oxygen and nutrients. That's why cuts heal slowly, blisters linger, and infections take root. Clinical research has shown that patients with advanced kidney disease are twice as likely to suffer from chronic, non-healing skin ulcers compared to healthy individuals. So if you notice mysterious rashes, sores, or blisters that seem to resist treatment, don't just wait it out. This is not simply a skin issue. It may be your kidneys waving a red flag that they are struggling. Seeking medical advice early could prevent more serious complications down the road. But even that's not the whole story, because sometimes the danger doesn't come from wounds that won't close. It shows up in the very color of your skin. When your body begins to wear a yellow or gray mask that reveals a much deeper problem. Sometimes the warning isn't an itch or a wound. It's the very color of your skin changing before your eyes. I remember a patient who came to me worried that her friends kept asking if she was turning yellow. She thought it was just fatigue, maybe stress from work. But the truth was far more serious. Her kidneys had stopped clearing toxins from her bloodstream, and her skin was literally showing it. When kidney function declines, toxins like urea and waste products accumulate in your body. These chemicals don't just affect your blood. They also seep into your skin, creating a dull, yellowish or grayish tone. Some patients even develop darker patches, called hyperpigmentation, as minerals like phosphorus build up under the skin. Research published in Kidney International Reports reveals that up to 40% of dialysis patients experience noticeable skin discoloration, an outward sign of the internal battle their kidneys are losing. This change is often subtle at first, which makes it easy to ignore. But if you notice your skin looking more ashen, gray, or unusually yellow without explanation, don't wait. It may not be your liver, as many assume. It could very well be your kidneys, and catching it early could mean the difference between treatment and dialysis. And yet, even skin color isn't the most alarming signal, because sometimes your skin doesn't just change shade, it swells, puffs, and reveals that fluid is silently building inside your body, a hidden danger far more urgent. If skin color whispers a warning, swelling shouts it out loud. Puffy eyes in the morning, socks leaving deep marks on your ankles, or hands that suddenly feel tight. These aren't just cosmetic annoyances. They can be one of the clearest signs that your kidneys are struggling. I once treated a patient who thought her puffy eyelids were simply from lack of sleep. But when we ran her labs, the truth emerged. Her kidneys were leaking protein, and that tiny loss was enough to make her body swell like a sponge. Here's what happens behind the scenes. Healthy kidneys act like filters, removing waste and extra fluid from your blood while holding on to essential proteins. But when those filters are damaged, proteins leak into the urine, lowering blood protein levels. Without enough protein to keep fluid inside your blood vessels, liquid escapes into your tissues, causing swelling in your feet, ankles, hands, and even around the eyes. The National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases reports that protein leakage, or proteinuria, is a classic sign of kidney damage and often appears years before total kidney failure. So if you notice unexplained swelling, especially in the lower body or around your eyes, don't dismiss it as just getting older or eating salty food. It may be your body signaling that the kidneys can no longer maintain balance. Early recognition and testing could change the entire trajectory of your health. But swelling is still only part of the story. Because in rare but devastating cases, the skin itself becomes stiff, tight, and almost frozen, turning into one of the most alarming conditions linked to kidney disease. Sometimes kidney disease doesn't just dry out your skin or make it swell, it locks your skin in a cage. I once met a patient who described it as if his body was turning to stone. His arms grew stiff, his legs felt trapped, and his skin looked shiny and hard, almost like polished wood. What he was experiencing was a rare but terrifying complication called nephrogenic systemic fibrosis, or NSF. Here's the science. NSF often strikes patients with advanced kidney disease who have been exposed to older MRI contrast dyes containing gadolinium. In healthy people, the kidneys clear gadolinium easily, but when kidneys fail, gadolinium lingers, triggering an abnormal buildup of collagen in the skin and connective tissue. This process causes the skin to tighten, thicken, and lose flexibility. In severe cases, joints stiffen to the point that walking or even bending becomes almost impossible. Studies in radiology show that NSF can develop within weeks or even years after exposure, making it one of the most insidious complications linked to kidney dysfunction. Although NSF is rare today thanks to safer MRI agents, it's a reminder that kidney disease doesn't just affect urine, it can reshape your very skin. And if you or a loved one with kidney issues ever notice shiny, tight, woody skin after imaging scans, it's a red flag that should never be ignored. But even this alarming condition isn't the most chilling sign, because when toxins rise high enough, the skin itself can frost over, literally leaving a powdery white coating that signals a life-threatening emergency. This next sign is so rare and so shocking that once you've seen it, you never forget it. Imagine looking at your skin and finding it dusted with a white, powdery coating like frost on a window in winter. I once had a patient rush to the hospital who looked as if someone had sprinkled salt all over his arms and face. But it wasn't salt, and it wasn't harmless. It was uremic frost, one of the most advanced and life-threatening signs of kidney failure. Here's why it happens. When kidneys stop working almost entirely, levels of urea in the blood skyrocket. As the body tries to sweat out some of this excess, the urea crystallizes on the surface of the skin, leaving behind a white, powdery residue. This isn't just cosmetic, it means toxins are flooding the bloodstream, overwhelming every organ, and dialysis is often urgently needed. According to the American Journal of Kidney Diseases, uremic frost is extremely rare today but remains a hallmark of end-stage renal failure, often appearing in patients who have gone untreated for far too long. If you ever see this on yourself or someone else, it is not a wait-and-see moment. It's an emergency. Immediate medical care is the only way forward. But as frightening as it sounds, the danger doesn't end with a powder on the skin, because in some cases, the skin doesn't frost, it dies. And when calcium begins to choke off blood vessels beneath the skin, the result is a nightmare condition that can cost not just health, but life itself. If uremic frost looks frightening, calciphylaxis is downright devastating. I'll never forget one of my patients who came in with painful black sores spreading across his legs. At first, he thought they were simple ulcers, but the pain was unbearable. Deep, burning pain that even the strongest medications barely touched. The diagnosis was calciphylaxis, a rare but deadly complication of kidney disease. Here's the truth behind it. Calciphylaxis occurs when calcium deposits build up in the small blood vessels that feed your skin. As those vessels harden and close, blood can't reach the tissue. The skin begins to die, turning red, gray, then black. Then, these wounds don't just scar, they become excruciating, infected, and in many cases, life-threatening. Studies in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology report that calciphylaxis carries a mortality rate as high as 50%, often due to overwhelming infection or sepsis. I've even seen cases where patients lost fingers, toes, or entire limbs. This isn't just a symptom, it's a wake-up call. If unexplained, painful sores appear and worsen quickly. It's a medical emergency. Immediate attention could be the difference between life and death. But as terrifying as calciphylaxis is, the kidneys sometimes send out one final, more subtle warning, not through sores or frost, but through something most of us glance at every day and ignore our nails. And what they reveal can be just as telling. Sometimes the smallest details speak the loudest, and your nails may be quietly telling the story of your kidneys. I once saw a patient who came in for something unrelated, but as soon as I shook his hand, I noticed his nails. They were half white on the bottom, half brown on top. He laughed it off as aging, but to me, it was a flashing red light. Tests later confirmed advanced kidney disease. Here's why it happens. When kidneys fail, toxins and metabolic imbalances disrupt the way your nails grow and how blood flows beneath them. This can create half-and-half nails, also known as Lindsay's nails, where the base turns pale or white while the top becomes darker. Other patients develop spoon-shaped nails that curve unnaturally, or brittle nails that split and crack easily. Research published in the International Journal of Nephrology notes that up to 40% of chronic kidney disease patients show nail abnormalities, subtle but powerful clues that are often overlooked. So the next time you trim your nails, take a closer look. Changes in color, shape, or texture might not just be cosmetic. They could be your kidneys sending you an early warning. And if you spot something unusual, don't ignore it. It may be the simplest clue that saves your health, but even after uncovering all 9 hidden signs, the most important step isn't just recognizing them, it's knowing what to do next. Because awareness without action changes nothing, and your kidneys deserve more than that. You've now learned 9 powerful signs that your skin and even your nails can reveal about your kidney health. And I want you to take a moment to realize something important. The fact that you're here, watching and listening, means you already care deeply about your body and your future. That's the very first step toward protecting your kidneys, and it's a step that too many people never take. So give yourself credit, you're doing something right for your health today, but knowledge is only as powerful as what you do with it. If you've recognized any of these symptoms in yourself or someone you love, don't wait. Reach out to your doctor, ask the right questions, and push for the tests that can give you clarity. Kidney disease can feel frightening, but the truth is this: when it's caught early, lifestyle changes, medical care, and consistent follow-up can make a life-changing difference. Even small shifts, drinking enough water, reducing excess salt, staying active, and monitoring blood pressure add up over time. And while these 9 signs might sound alarming, remember this: they're warnings, not sentences. Your body is speaking to you, and if you listen now, you can often change the course of your health. That's why I want you to hold on to this information, because it may not only protect you, but it could save a friend, a parent, or someone in your community who has no idea their kidneys are at risk. So here's my request: save this video so you can come back to it and share it with at least one person you care about. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because I'll be sharing the latest medical insights, tools, and prevention tips designed to help you protect your kidneys and live a stronger, healthier life. Above all, remember this: you are not powerless. Your kidneys may be small, but your choices are mighty. Stay aware, stay consistent, and never give up on your health, because every day you act is another day your kidneys can keep fighting for you.